Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in each and every day at 11 o'clock. You can join Sturch and Gooch and Dina, and today and Wednesdays and Thursdays, you get blessed with intern Anthony, A4, right? Or no, we're counting Audi. Fuck, what do we?
A4.
A4, right. All right, that's what we're going with. Dynamite. Awesome job on the Micah Parsons t-shirt, now available at chopsports.shop, soon to be on our Etsy shop as well. If you're a Cowboy fan like I am, I'm wearing the hat to prove it. You can go check out the new Micah Parsons Always Hungry t-shirt. That's my first plug. Second plug, if you're watching this show right now, I'm just also making sure that everything's going okay over there, producer-wise. Good to go. Great. Which yesterday, by the way, before I get into the plugs, I watched the Pat McAfee show. He had Brock Lesnar on a couple days ago, so I watched that, at least 20 minutes of the interview. Do you know within the first 5 minutes, Gooch, Brock broke the side table? He was sitting in that recliner chair with the little tiny table, and he smashed it. He broke it, and it became like a moment, right? And I'm thinking, like, you know, we can mess up. Like, and it won't be like terrible.
Yeah,
you know?
as
like,
long as it's not like an echo, things like that. Like I was planning on pouring out liquor today. We'll get into that a little bit later, but
right.
I'm not actually.
Don't do that. No. But anyway, that'd be insulting to liquor. But anyway, if you guys are watching the YouTube channel and the YouTube show right now, like you do every day, like the video, please. Also subscribe to the channel. We did pick up another couple subscribers overnight. We do appreciate you guys spreading the word. That's how this thing's going to get around until we hit the streets and start, you know, guerrilla marketing again, which, by the way, that has worked. I've gotten plenty of texts from people showing me stickers of like in the drive-throughs of certain places like Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, and like somebody's out there just slapping a sticker on everything they could possibly do. And I'm shout out
we
to
see you, Joey D.
Joey D. Yeah, we're talking to you, kid, because we know that you're the one doing it. But yeah, so YouTube, great. If you want to also support us in a monetary way, please do so by going over to patreon.com/chopsports. That helps us out. It gets you to VIP access once we have some parties, once we have some once we have some gatherings. We're going to have a viewing party for the next UFC fight. Yes. We're also going to, I just realized that about 10 minutes before the show, we're going to have the biggest bash of all time for Gooch's 40th birthday. That's coming up in May, and I don't mean to drag you as far as just turning 40.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what you guys are going to do because I'm not going.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, anyway, we're going to have a party anyway. Even if we have to get a cardboard cutout of the guy, we'll just put it on the wall somewhere. But yes, we will definitely be having a bash in May for that as well. So those are our plugs of the day.
Plug skis.
I paused.
You stopped yourself. There was definitely a plug.
I'm trying to undad my conversation. But anyway, also a shout out to our sponsors and the guys that are supporting us right now. Lilac and Sage Boutique. You got to check those guys out. LilacSageBoutique.com for all of the women's clothing that they have over there. I know you're probably, if you're just tuning in or the first time you're hearing this promo, like, why would Dave and Chris link up with a woman's clothing line? First of all, example one, I've known the guy since Jump Street. Like, I've literally, when I tell you that one of my first jobs I ever had was a cook in a kitchen, right? But then I handled a situation. It was at United Skates of America in Woodbridge at the community center, right? So I was a cook. Now, I know, Dave, you don't eat any food. What are you talking? What are you cooking? Actually, I made a mean cheesesteak. People thought my cooking was good. So I thought for sure that would be like the career path, but it didn't go that way. There was a hockey parents fight right outside the doors of the
let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, it was a big brawl right outside the doors of the kitchen. So I went out there and I handled it. I de-escalated the situation, right? I handled it, right? And everybody looked at me and they're like, wow, that guy just came out of nowhere wearing his purple t-shirt with his visor saying, like, everybody just calm down,
so
right?
You were the cook or the Scatosaurus?
I was the cook. I never got to do the Scatosaurus. I wish I could.
Because
By the way, that stunk to high hell, by the way. That thing was grotesque. But the best part is, a guy named Bill Irving, okay? He was the ice skating rink manager. He saw me handle this, and he's like, you know what? That cook, he could be one of the managers over here and learn to drive the Zamboni. So that's what I did for 5 years. And because of Bill Irving and his trust in me, I was able to have a really cool job, no pun, but pun, a really cool job driving the Zamboni. I know Anthony probably gets a kick out of that.
The guests or the listeners are waiting for this story to tie into.
Yes, here's the tie-in.
Sage Boutique.
Bill Irving, okay, again, God rest his soul. He passed away a couple years ago, was my favorite boss of all time. His son is the owner of this boutique. with his wife. So that's how it all ties in. I've known these guys forever. I've known that little guy since he was skating around the rec center, just triple deacon guys out of their skates and scoring goals.
So listen, so next time your wife's birthday, Mother's Day is coming up. Right. There's all these things coming up that you would be men that are typically, our typical listener is male, obviously.
Yeah,
there's
male
a few
dominated,
females out there. What's up, Ash? I see you, girl. And if you have a birthday coming up, something like that, then you have a perfect place to go. You get a cheaper, because we do have a discount code, you get a cheaper version of a gift.
Shop 10 at the checkout.
Support Lilac and Sage Boutique.
Yes, they're awesome. Awesome people, great small business. Hey, listen, we're a small business, though. It's about helping others. So definitely do that. And of course, my practice run day, what's today? Wednesday? Day 3 of Manscaped. Manscaped.com right now. It was so funny. Anthony, he doesn't see us. After he leaves us on Thursdays, we don't see him until the following Wednesday, right? But we keep in contact because he's doing daily things, right? So he comes in here, he's like, who got the relationship with the balls, guys?
The ball trimmers.
What'd you call it?
I said, how'd you secure a partnership with the ball shaver?
There you go. Manscaped.com. If you use the promo code CHOPSPORTS at checkout, you're getting 20% off. And they have an amazing package, literally and figuratively, coming to us. So we get to try the product and then really get into it. So it's funny. The first read I'm going to have to do, you're not even going to be here for it. How you like that? That's going to be sad news. But anyway.
I'll send pics.
Oh, okay. Of you using the ball trimmer?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, I'm not going to use it at my balls in the pictures.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good.
But I got some fur going on up top. So
right. It actually works tremendously everywhere. Okay. Everywhere. This thing is great. The lawnmower 4.0, by the way. It works.
I gotta say, I've yet to use Manscaped. I've yet to use any of their products, and I'm always curious to know. It's like, it's not going to nick your ball sack. And supposedly there is no nicking in the ball sack.
Dude, I swear to God, there was one company that I saw. It was like one of those 1 a.m. infomercials where it's like, German engineered, blah, blah, blah. This thing will take off and everything, like all the hair. I was like, oh, of course I'll get it. So I get it. It gets to my house, whatever, 3 days later or whatever. And I use it. And I take it to my my arm. And I take it and it goes, zzz, and it just stops. It gets jammed up with too much hair, stops, breaks, everything. I'm like, German engineered. You Nazis couldn't get this thing right? What's wrong with you right now? Oh, my God.
Oof.
Well, don't worry. My stepsister is Jewish and German.
So that's like the
Double
Tim Watley
cancel.
thing. You get to.
That's
you
why I
inherit
get to
the
say
German,
whatever I want. Yes,
German
that's my get out of jail free card.
If anybody knows the reference, Tim Watley converted to Judaism for the jokes.
I can't wait to see you try and keep a straight face during a live read. Ken Paulman's coming in with all the puns. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to write it myself. It's going to be fantastic. Actually, I'm not going to write it myself. They've given me something to read, and I will be reading it next week. Yes, I know. Kyle coming in. You're not allowed to say that it doesn't nick.
Well, I'm going to need the
That's
banned
another way of
words
saying
list.
it nicks your ball sack.
Yeah, that's not necessarily. They just can't guarantee it. You know what I mean? They can't be like, hey, by the way, if you go ham on your members,
if you're a barbarian and you're trying to shave your balls, you might nick your nuts.
If you're a Viking and you go in there like, oh,
good thing this is just a trial period and they're not judging us on this read. I'm going to need that list of banned words because I have a
you can say
it's in
the risk.
It's in the email right. It's in the email right next to the Venmo emails.
Oh yeah,
we've been getting, so it's in there.
Send me another link the 13th time that I can't find it.
German engineering, but it says Taiwan in small letters. Yeah, that's the truth. That's probably right. But anyway, so that's manscaped.com. So if you want the package that they're offering right now, the lawnmower, everything, the ball cream, the this, that, and the third, the ball wipes, everything, get over to manscaped.com, Chop Sports at checkout, 20% off. You get a lot of cool things. And it helps us out too, because we're on a trial period right now. We got to make sure these reads work. So go out there and buy some stuff. All right. Sports, right? A lot of stuff. As soon as literally, like, I think this is a trend now. So by the way, going forward, breaking news will always happen at noon, no matter what. As soon as we stop, something happens. So we got some information yesterday about the James Harden situation. And boy, oh boy, like, come on, man. Like, this is, I don't know. I can't say it. There's things I want to say about James Harden right now because he's a complete idiot in this regard, but you fumbled and guaranteed bag, bro.
What happens when you're like addicted to Hennessy? He had to have his paperwork submitted by 11 a.m. or something yesterday, and the liquor store also opens at 11 a.m. So he was sitting on the stool outside the liquor store waiting for the fucking Hennessy that he could get so he could go file his paperwork, but the league just was like, nah, man, we're not having it this time. $47 million left on the table. I almost feel bad worse for Philly than I do for Harden because I actually don't like James Harden, so it's like par for the course for this guy. But Philly just mortgaged their future on getting James Harden. If he doesn't re-sign an extension soon, he's going to hit free agency.
I don't think they do that mid-season. I don't see that happening.
I don't think so either, based on why would he at this point? Maybe he didn't.
No, why would Philly?
But here's also what I don't trust about James Harden. I don't think James Harden, they're talking like he was going to sign the extension, and that was part of the talking point for Philly to Brooklyn, saying like he's going to leave anyway, just trade him to us because we know that he'll sign with us. He'll re-up or at least pick up the player option. Now maybe James Harden is making it seem like, oh, it was just a last-minute thing, like we fucked up, we couldn't get it in time, but he never had any intention of actually getting it in at all to begin with. You got James Harden coming out and saying that he wanted to leave Brooklyn because he wants to be around guys that want to win. Now, James Harden, at every single stop that you've been at, you wanted to leave. Is there anybody in the league besides you that wants to win at this point?
Are we at this point now where it's just like the players, this is a player-driven league. Like guys will cry their way out of everything. And it's so funny that as we're talking about James Harden, that some other NBA legend spoke up about stacking teams, right? Kevin Garnett, like, legend, but not like he came out and said, I don't have the direct quote.
Black. Yeah, no, he was basically saying that the league is now soft because everybody's teaming up with everybody. If you can't get it done on your own, I'm paraphrasing, you're a bum. Now, KG, like you literally created the whole thing with LeBron. The
I remember
decision.
the Sports Illustrated cover.
Cleveland wasn't beating Boston, right? When Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett teamed up to make what I know as like, I still think the Bulls were the first super team, even the Lakers before that. Like there's been super teams throughout the NBA. The Celtics even went way back in the day. But in terms of teaming up, you know, you could make the case that Rodman joining the Bulls was them a super team. But with Paul Pierce being on the Celtics, right? And then KG and Ray Allen kind of forcing their way into Boston. I don't think that they were signed as free agents. So it's a little less trade. But they forced their way into Boston. Basically, how the NBA is now is a lot to do with the way these guys were dictating things with their front office. But they were the first big three to me. They were the first super team in this era, right? And that's what forced LeBron to go to Miami because he had no choice. You weren't beating that team without a better version of what you were in Cleveland. So hypocrite.
Rob Bohannon coming in. Good morning, Rob. The NBA pays these guys way too much, and 90% of the players came from spam and ramen, and now they don't know how to act. Not false, you know.
That's a fair assessment, and they do get paid a lot of money because we will talk later a little bit about Aaron Donald's contract, and then we constantly talk about Evan Fournier's contract. And just to give you an example, Fournier is a role player. Aaron Donald's the best player in the league. Yeah. And Fournier makes like $3 million more a year.
Right.
Go figure.
We'll get into that.
Figure.
Kyle coming in, man. They were the big five. Prime Rondo and Perkins.
Well, I will give you prime Rondo, but Perkins.
You didn't like Perkins?
I still hate Kendrick Perkins.
I do too. I can't watch him on TV. Like I can't watch this guy at all.
But I mean, he was really good for that team. And even Glenn Davis, they had a really good
big
team.
Baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was just a really really good team.
NBA after all. I see that. But anyway, so the Harden situation is difficult because now, God forbid something happens in this last leg of the NBA season, he is not secure anywhere next year. So he's officially an unrestricted free agent. Go get your bag wherever you want. But caveat, by the way, he might bitch and moan his way out of wherever he signs. That's a big deal for me. Like if I'm an owner of the team, like look, do I think James Harden is a good basketball player? Yeah, I do. Would I like him on the Knicks? Yeah, I would. But like, if now you add all this, forget it, bro. Well, forget it. I don't want anything to do with it.
At least it makes for a really good storyline in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. Should these
it's going to be phenomenal.
Two teams meet up? Because I just don't think Harden has any bit of dog in him. And I say that with like, I don't really know that Kyrie does either. But I think that in this situation, Kyrie against Harden is going to be the funnest matchup of the entire postseason. And then I don't know. I guess you could say that there's no answer for Embiid on the Nets, but there's definitely no answer for KD anywhere in the league.
You could swarm Embiid at one point and just kind of hack a Shaq type deal.
Joel Embiid is having a really good year.
So. MVP?
No.
Okay.
I think
didn't Scoop say something in the chat yesterday about
DeRozan
big
plus 4,000? That's not worth it. It's just like donate your money because it's going to go to Jokic.
Joker. All right. Well, there's your MVP. But James Harden, look, you made a mistake, and now you have to live up to it. But anyway, hope Harden gets it. Oh, Jesus.
It's very funny.
Never, ever
to see all these Nets fans talking shit about James Harden, who they anointed as the savior. Well, no, I'm not saying scoop, but I saw Ray finally break his silence on Chop Sports about.
Yeah, he was burning the shirt we made him.
Well, that wasn't even breaking the silence. That was just like a
a
little bullshit thing that he did for a split second. He actually commented on something that says, "I was really, really duped by this guy." It's like, yeah, no shit. You couldn't see through the blinders that James Harden was 430 pounds coming into Brooklyn last year,
dude,
and now he's like 440.
The memes that came out where it's like Batman looking at his suit, like James Harden looking for his fat suit, like to get out of Brooklyn. Like those memes were freaking fantastic.
And we see Scoop saying, "I hope Harden tears his ACL."
That up. I don't like that.
I love that because it just proves that karma's fake. It doesn't actually exist
Here we
because
go
Scoop
again
isn't going to
with
go tear his ACL.
What if that happens while he's playing tennis?
He's not going to move. He's going to be stationary.
Steve Doucette coming in. Steven Doucette, not worth the headache. He's a quitter. Yeah, I mean, that's 100%, bro. This guy has become a headache, and now he's Philadelphia's headache for the rest of the year. Can Philly make a run with a healthy James Harden and Embiid? They can. I would say they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe, with those two role players, and then hopefully it's against Brooklyn. I would love to see it. For the casual fan, like that series will be good, right? Do I want the Brooklyn Nets anywhere near the finals? No. As a Knicks fan, no, I don't. But I also don't want Philly. So somebody else. Give me the Bucks again. Give me
I still
somebody
think
else.
It's going to be the Bucks in the East. Giannis is just too hard to deal with in the postseason. He gets to the basket at will, I should say.
Yeah.
And who's the softest player in the NBA? Harden
Simmons.
or Ben Simmons?
Well, that actually sparks something that I don't want to get too deep into, but boy, oh boy, there's a writer or a radio personality down at WIP in Philadelphia, right? And he saw a video of Ben Simmons in pregame warmups smiling and shaking the hand of Kevin Durant. His tweet came out, and he was dragged for it, as he should be. His comments were, it seems that Ben Simmons' mental illness is cured now because he got his way.
Who said that?
I don't know the name, and I'm not going to give him the name credit because the guy's a piece of shit.
Well, I mean, like,
do I think that his stress level will go down now that he's somewhere else? Sure.
Well,
but don't sit there and pretend like because a guy smiled, he's not hurting.
Well, let me just say this.
Smile every day.
I'm gonna sit here and say that Ben Simmons used that as a crutch, and I think it was actually, if you want to really get technical, I'm not going to diagnose him, but he was offered a ton of free help at the expense of the Sixers, and I think that they were using that as a scapegoat for him to not play. Let's be real. If he's able to play all of a sudden in Brooklyn, there is some truth to what that guy's saying. And I think he's saying it tongue in cheek. I don't think he's necessarily bashing mental health himself. I think he's bashing the fact that Simmons was using mental health as a scapegoat for not playing.
Couple notable writers came after that guy, and they said, you better tread lightly on this one, bro. Cause that's the culture. That's the culture right now, dude. And I'm not I'm an advocate for it.
I agree. I'm not sitting here and bashing mental health, but I don't think Ben Simmons is mentally ill. I think he's just a rich baby. Honestly, that's the way I look at it.
That's fine.
And we're in terms of being soft. Yeah, he's very soft because he couldn't even shoot a 3 or a free throw or take a layup. Like he had open layups and he was dishing the ball out.
Yeah,
in the
Rob,
postseason.
Rob came back in and said, I understand what the radio guy was trying to say, but he shouldn't have used those words. You just got to be careful. When you have that platform, you just got to be careful on the words you choose because the fan base and the people out there listen, we live in a world right now where you say one wrong thing, you're canceled forever. So like that is just, and there's still guys out there. I'm wondering when their next role is going to be, but like guys like Jeremy Piven, like for God's sakes, because of everything he said on Entourage and everything that he was scripted to say in a TV show, you haven't seen him in anything lately, and you've seen him do a podcast. How You Living, Jeremy Piven. Go check it out. It's actually a good podcast. Anyway, so Kyle came in. One more thing about this situation. Apparently, Simmons is saying that the 76ers knew about his mental health issues before the playoffs, and not one person in the Sixers organization admits to knowing somebody's lying.
But what bearing does that even have on the situation? Like maybe they've known about his mental health since before they even drafted him. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. Was he saying, you know what? I shouldn't play. And they were like, no, you should. I don't think that was the case. I think that he was trying to go out there and win games for his team. And the media just got to him. The fans got to him.
Of course, bro. You know what? They came down.
I'm not saying that he's
Ben
not
Simmons.
dealing with mental health issues. I'm saying that the reason why he's not playing basketball this year has almost zero to do with it. That's my take.
Fine take. That's fine. That's why
I'm not bashing him for his mental health.
That's why you can have him.
For his inability to fucking pull the trigger on a
yeah. off the basketball into a sport that was supposed to be getting the going right about now. Pitchers and catchers yesterday, today was supposed to be the thing. And that's exciting because football just ended, right? So we get excited for a second. We're like, wow, football ends and bang, baseball's here. And now baseball's not here. Baseball is officially not here. And now it's finally getting into that time of now you're cutting into the prep time for the season. And Gooch, I know you did a deep dive this morning on the actual timeline.
We're approaching the 10-week mark on the official timeline for the lockout. So starting December 2nd was when the lockout actually began. I think December 1st or like the end of November, we got the Max Scherzer news with the Mets and the Mets made all their noise, won the offseason, the pre-off season, I should call it. And then December 2nd, the lockout begins and the owners voted unanimously in favor of the lockout. Okay. So 6 weeks go by all the way to January 13th. Negotiations open 6 weeks later. And I say that like, really,
it's a long time.
So despite Manfred saying that the lockout was intended to jumpstart the negotiations, it took them 6 weeks to actually start negotiating. So I'm not sure what he was talking about with that. Now, as we spoke about a couple weeks back on the podcast, we talked on, I guess it was January 23rd, because that was the day that the players and the owners met for the first time since January 13th. In those 2 day meetings, the two sides, they conceded on several issues, both sides, and they actually made some progress. But most of the main sticking points remained. There was a lot to do with the service time and things like that, which we're not going to get into right now. I just want to stick to the timeline. All right. So February 1st, the two parties met again with the players lowering their demands. And basically they said, we want the universal DH and we want an expanded 12-team playoff, which I'm surprised that the players want more games. Typically, I guess
they want more opportunity.
Well, more money. Get a ring. Yeah. And I don't know that they really want more opportunity. I think it's about money, right? Playoff money. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know that it's typically in sports. I guess football is the one that I'm drawing my comparison to, is the players don't want more games, but baseball is a different sport. I remember, leading into the negotiations with the whole COVID thing, the players were like, no, we want games, because I think in baseball, the deal that they have is that they can make a lot of money even if they don't play these games. So I think that there's a different sticking point there as far as that goes, but that's not really neither here nor there. February 3rd, Major League Baseball,
which is just 13 days ago, by the way.
Yeah. So February 3rd, Major League Baseball requests a mediator, to help kind of sort things out. But the Major League Baseball Players Association said, hell no to that, because we made our, we kind of gave in a little bit on what we were going to demand on the 1st. You were supposed to counter propose yours on February 2nd. And instead you didn't show up and you send this whole thing through the media that you want to bring in a mediator. So the players union balked at that idea. And that takes us to February 10th, where Manfred finally met with the media and says, as of now, we're not pushing the season back. Right. And
he's just trying to save face. Yeah.
But now fast forward to February 16th, which is today. And this is where I was going to prod a little liquor for the pitchers and catchers should be reporting. We would have loaded content. Instead, I got to go through this bullshit timeline. Instead, I got to go through this bullshit timeline and basically let everybody know that, there is no urgency. There is no baseball coming yet. As of right now, they should be doing pitchers and catchers. They don't even have, we went through the free agents last week. There's no home for a lot of these guys. So as opening day is supposed to be on, I think, March 29th.
Okay.
Right? That's just not going to happen at this point because
you don't think so. That's a month and a half.
I think that we agreed to that the last time we talked.
You're telling me they can't get nothing done within the next couple weeks?
Do they have anything scheduled?
I don't know.
They don't. Not that I'm reading. I just read the entire article on several different platforms. Like I did a lot of research on this, and CBSSports.com is where I got most of the information here. So I will shout that out. Guys. And
it is CBS.
It's just an unfortunate situation. We don't even know who who the Yankees first baseman is at this point. So it's hard to talk baseball. It's hard to talk about any of these things.
It's going to be Freddie Freeman.
But what we will get is accelerated offseason. And when things do finally materialize, it will be fun for us because everything is going to be happening all at once. And then baseball happens right away. So, interesting times ahead. He's a Yankee fan.
You went with the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, by the way. Anthony's trying to get into baseball, and this is the first taste of it that he gets. Imagine that. Imagine that nobody wants to play baseball anymore. That's a dying breed. I'm telling you, I heard a couple callers on a couple radio stations saying that their kids are growing up playing hockey, which again, great. Anthony's a hockey guy, right? Hockey, soccer, friggin' basketball, baseball and football are starting to be lost. Football for the concussions and stuff like that, but baseball because of the love and nobody wants to do it anymore.
So wait, you're saying
It's just crazy.
I understand what you're saying in terms of the youth.
Yeah.
Because I kind of missed something. I was trying to read. You were talking about like baseball. I mean, hockey is on the rise and baseball and football are dying.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, it's not agreeing. It's statistics. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to
maybe if
make
you're talking about
here.
but put it this way, when it comes to high school football, that's what's making money, right? And football will never go anywhere. Baseball won't go anywhere. And in terms of like fan
What about,
viewership,
all right, fine. Fan viewership, football's not going anywhere. Baseball
is not going anywhere. Because I don't have the information here, and that's what I was trying to look for. Because when you were starting to talk baseball dying, baseball's viewership numbers were up big time last year.
But after this is what I'm saying.
The Major League Baseball playoffs,
it
was the Rays and the Red Sox was the highest viewed game that day, and it beat Monday Night Football. So I'm pretty sure, it beat Monday Night Football. And, that's typically not the case. It could be a regular season game, and it was the Giants game. Giants-Chiefs, I think. So go figure.
Is Ken Palman? Oh, he's a Red Sox. I mean, he's a Mets guy, right? Okay, because he was going. I can't wait to the Red Sox.
I don't care.
Freddie Freeman.
I'm not married to the idea of Freddie Freeman coming to New York. I don't want him to go to Boston if it doesn't happen. But do we really think Boston's going to shell out money free agency? They don't typically do
Ken
that.
Palman came in and says youth baseball is a money grab. That's the problem. Most arrogant and selfish sport. These kids are forced to play 10 months a year.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think that's why you see a lot of these injuries piling up at a young age. The best thing to be good at sports, in my opinion, is to play all sports. In baseball season, you play baseball and you develop your baseball skills. In football season, you play football and you still develop skills that will be applied to baseball. And same thing goes for basketball. It's like, use these things and don't wear and tear on your arm at 12 years old, pitching 10 months out of the year. And then when it comes time, when you're in high school and it's time to like take you to the next level, then you could pick a sport.
Yeah.
As a kid, the whole fall ball thing's got to go.
I was a pitcher back in the day. I had a cannon. I was a good pitcher. I think I was a good pitcher. But I stopped. They got to the point where I don't know. It wasn't appealing to me to play anymore. Now I play drunk adult league softball, which hopefully starts soon. I got the email from Larry. So Chop Sports coming back for the ship. But anyways, there's other people that are chiming in on this. Bailey McClure comes in. Why would the owners not want an additional games or playoff teams? Wouldn't that bring in more revenue? I really understood the owner standpoint of this. Right. I kind of agree here too.
I think we talked about this before as well, and I'm going to take it over on this because I think what the consolation would probably have to be would be less regular season games. And that would, if they shorten the regular season by 10 games each, I'm pretty sure if I do the math right, that's like 150 games lost during the regular season, which takes away a lot of advertising dollars only to replace it with maybe a couple playoff games. The finances of that don't work out. And the reason why you almost have no choice but to shorten the season is because you can't have Major League Baseball playoff games going into mid-November into early December. You just can't do it.
Oh, of course not.
What
if the Cubs make the playoffs?
And it's not like you could even make the season sooner. You can't start the season any sooner because the same reason.
Thing.
It basically like bookends the entire winter and fall. You can't play baseball when it gets cold.
They would have to shorten the regular season.
If the Cubs make the playoffs, if the White Sox make the playoffs,
Rockies.
if the Tigers make the playoffs, I could name teams through and through that play in the cold weather.
The Yankees.
The Red Sox.
Right.
The Yankees.
Everybody.
Nobody wants to go watch a baseball game in mid-November.
No.
And nobody wants to play in one. I can promise you that.
No, not at all. Anyway, so yeah, just crazy turn of events. And unfortunately, there is no turn of events with the baseball lockout. We're still kind of sitting back and waiting. Scoop came in, asked if we can talk about golf. The reason why that's funny, and you don't know this, it happened on Monday. I was sitting here with Tommy D doing the Chop Heads Combat Sports podcast, and Scoop called into the Michael K show the day after the Super Bowl. He wanted to talk about the waste management crowd of how ruckus it was, right? Don LaGreca, without yelling, ripped him a new asshole on the air because he said, dude, Scoop, it's the day after the Super Bowl, and you want to talk about golf? Get him out of here. Get him out. Like, just wanted to throw him off the air.
Like, well, we have this forum,
yeah,
and we talk about golf all the time.
We can talk about golf all day. We could start a golf podcast. I'm talking to you, Danny, my brother. If he ever wants to talk, he'll talk golf all day. Loves that shit. I don't know. I told Danny, I was like, if that waste management shit was the crowd that you got all the time, I'd be a golf savant. I would watch that shit all the time. Like when Happy Gilmore goes up to the tees, like, let's make a little noise around here.
I told you what my requirements to ever play golf are, right?
Shorts and a golf cart?
No, it's like it's like ready, go. And you start the stopwatch when you hit the ball, and then you have to run after it. You don't have to hit your ball and wait for the other guys to hit their ball,
Wow.
and then it
What
takes
a
like
concept.
an hour and a half.
Is that a thing yet?
And
Because
they
if
don't-
not, because if not,
I mean, I'm sure it's a thing because on Tiger Woods, the video game, they had it, but you didn't have to run to your ball. So it took a lot of, you just were placed there artificially. So in this case, it's like you hit it. As soon as you hit it, you have to go. Right. So you have to sprint to your ball, and you could hit it.
I can hear like Mario theme songs in the back.
You can hit it. You can hit your ball 30 times, and you're not getting 30 strokes. It's like when the ball hits the bottom of the cup, they stop it, and it's like hole one. And
So not only that, so not only did you get a par, right? You showed par, but you also took 4 minutes to do it, and that kind of goes with your score. Like that's
so it's like no. It's just like where there's no par 1, par 3, 4.
So just
5.
make it in
It's
a
just
less
like
amount of time.
It's like marathon
God,
style.
everybody would play.
Like Tour de
Is this
France
for
style, where
real?
they add up your times, and whoever has the shortest time through the 18 holes wins.
Rob Bohannon, what the hell, man? Let's do a
Is he
wrestling
for
podcast.
real?
Does he not? Does he not listen? Chopheads Combat Sports. We're all over it, bro. You can come in here.
I actually
Doors
told
open.
Rob, come on in. On
Yeah,
Monday,
bro. Talk wrestling with me. I'm all for that. And you could probably be a lot better than Gooch. You can offer a lot more
He
than
definitely-
Gooch on
He
pro
likes
wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah, of course. So I'm down. Let's do it.
He actually. Never mind. I'll save that for maybe the
The death
soft
rate
close.
of Ken Palmer came in. The death rate of golfing would triple. What about foot golf? The kicking of a soccer ball into a golf course. So basically, there's a massive hole,
Seems counterproductive.
and you just kick the shit out of it, and then it just hits the fairway, and then you got to go, and you got to do it again. Listen, man, listen. If it coming to spring of
Bro, we're
2023,
gonna modify all these
Chop Sports presents on the Ocho foot golf.
Yeah, and
Boom.
I'm
We're owners of the
I'm gonna
first team.
dominate speed golf.
Oh, here we go. You know what? It's like we can't get through one sport conversation without you thinking that you're going to dominate.
Yeah, like speed golf, I'm gonna dominate.
You
I'm gonna dominate the 39 and up.
My
age
sister-
group,
so
right
now-
there.
so now
So it's
we're-
like by the
we're-
time this happens, I'll be 40, right?
Okay.
Maybe we'll do it at my
The over
40th
40
birthday
league?
party. The over 40 league. Who's
I like
gonna
it.
beat me in the over 40 league?
Well,
honestly?
I got 4 years to get there, so I
In
can
speed-
train
in
for
speed
4
golf.
years.
So you could
I'm
watch from the
almost there.
sidelines, and you could
Dino
see
be in.
you could see what you have to face in 4 years, and you're gonna be like, I hope he fucking loses a little bit by the time I'm 40.
Yes, all of a sudden, Gooch is going to be in the
I'll
media.
be a fucking quintuple champion at that point. 5
Right.
time, bro. Defending speed golf champion.
44, 45-year-old Gooch is going to be on the, getting interviewed by one of the people covering the sport. And they're like, how's it feel to be a 5-time champion? Well, I told people when I turned 40, I was going to dominate this sport. And here I am.
And I created it just
A
to
league of
dominate
his
it.
own.
So it's basically basketball. Like the two guys coming up with a game that you play in your backyard.
I feel like this is a
And-
conversation that we should have with Mike and be like, look, Mike, we have this weird idea about a bunch
Mike
of
who?
obscure sports. The Crosta.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
of course.
And I feel like things like that.
He would
leagues,
buy in.
He's like, I'm all about.
Yeah,
leagues.
he
You know,
likes
we
that
film
obscure
it and
shit.
we could, yeah. So let's do this, Mike.
He wants to do a million podcasts. So over under, can Chris win at sumo wrestling? Coming Mark. Yeah, of course. What the heck? Of course I can. I'd be dominant
Bro.
at sumo wrestling. I would knock the Christ out of any sumo wrestler ever. Did I
Well,
cover it all?
No. We're gonna have to modify the rules because I'm a wee little guy, so I'm not gonna sumo wrestle anybody that's fucking enormous.
Oh,
so,
Ashley comment in 3, 2, 1. He's so cute. Anyway. Oh,
yeah, speed golf and then sumo wrestling. That's a, I don't
Little
know.
bit of
Maybe
the-
I'll bring him in.
little
here.
bit of
It's
a tipski on the
difference here.
scales. Oh man. So yeah, pitchers and catches, that sucks. Not happening. So we're trying to create sports in the meantime. In the meantime, we do have NHL. The Rangers still rule. The Devils still suck. Sorry, Ant. We do have those sports going. The NBA, the Knicks still stink, and of course the Nets are doing well. So we do have sports. It's not like it's totally dead time.
I feel like
but
nobody's gonna beat the Wild this year.
Minnesota.
Is
Minnesota.
right?
Yeah, it's the Minnesota.
Are they
Wild.
good this year, Ant?
They're a lot better than they've been in previous years. But
Did you just come up with that out of thin
No,
air?
I'm pretty sure I eavesdropped on a hockey conversation yesterday, and I heard someone say,
It was Sean.
"Yeah."
We were at Men's.
So I was just trying to steal a point that I figure someone that's smart made.
Our one of our investors in Chop Sports, Dr. Sean Basinger, massive hockey fan. We had to explain to him gracefully that the hockey podcast didn't take off as fast as we thought it would. In fact, it's no longer around. So we need a hockey podcast. Mike Salerno, talking to you, bro. If you hear this, hit me up. Let's talk, because I got Anthony over here
Or at
with
least
just a plethora of knowledge.
Look, and I'm saying this. I know that we've thrown around the idea of blogs and getting
Yeah.
bloggers, but guys, if you know anybody that's actually a legitimate writer that is not Tommy D, that we don't have to spend 11 days editing, we need
we won't
need
do that to you
legitimate
again. Yeah.
bloggers that can meet deadlines and actually come up with a schedule and treat a blog just like you would treat a podcast. Logo, all the work.
Make it look nice. Let's do
sponsors,
it. We
advertisements.
have the platform. We have the websites
yes,
right
we need
there.
to start building the website. So anybody out there that thinks they could write well, let's see it.
Sam Grasso, let's have a ball shaving contest with the lawnmower.
So
and you know what? To enter that, you got to go buy the Performance Package 4.0, which you can do by putting in Chop Sports at checkout at manscaped.com.
I feel like there's going to be some levels to that as well, because like if you have like a really massive hairy grundle, then you can't enter that competition
like
against somebody that's
this conversation is happening now, and Chris now is going to say, I would kick all your asses at shaving my balls.
No,
that's exactly what you're about to say.
Would like levels of hair be like weight classes?
Yeah,
is that like
at featherweight? You know, he's just a little
how
trim.
far back on the taint do you have to go?
Oh,
things
Jesus.
like that. There's a lot of things that are.
This is happening. This
there's a lot of
happening.
things. There's a lot of things that are. Open for interpretation when it comes to this.
I just came up with something in my head.
What did you come up with? A new sport?
Please share.
If you want to whisper it, I'll say it, because I don't.
Are you worried about cancellation?
He's not scared.
What?
I was gonna say, Gooch shaves the Gooch.
There it is.
There you go, bro.
I mean, that writes itself, folks.
Yep.
I mean, come on, it's
and
there.
I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna have you cartoon out someone's taint.
I can't win because I'm
t-shirt.
fully shaven. It's 2022. All right. If you ever watched Entourage, that's not a thing anyway. So, thanks a lot, drama. But anyway, how many times are you going to say anyway in the next 30 seconds, by the way? What did Kyle say? Kyle said something where Ashley's laughing. What is it? Chris doesn't trim. Word on the street, Ashley prefers a gorillas in the mist type of situation. All right, can we stop this shit, please? Anyway, let's go on to the next topic of conversation. We heard from our offensive side of the ball, but now the best defensive player in football ever, apparently, is now looking for some serious do-re-mi. Okay, he wants the cashish, and he deserves it, because you told me his salary number for next year. Are we kidding here? $14 million Aaron Donald's going to get paid next year?
A little upwards of like 14.25 or 14.5.
Whatever.
Still, it's in the
kidding me?
$14 million. Now, look, he signed the contract a while back, and he's at the back end of the deal. So typically what happens in those situations, if you get a guy like him, you see Devontae's in the same boat, where they're just vastly underpaid for their position and their output.
I didn't do it.
What's wrong?
Typo in the graphic. Dina, get it together.
Aaron Donald needs Big Naughty to stick around. Oh, there's no eye in the stick. Heard that. Pause. But way to point that out, Kyle, you jerk. Anyway, keep going. Sorry. Didn't want to interrupt.
So Aaron Donald, he's set to retire, apparently. Now, this is all reports. This isn't from the Aaron Donald's mouth himself, but obviously he wants more money. I think the retirement talk, now it's starting to make more sense to me, because I don't believe for one split second that Aaron Donald is going to retire. But I also don't think that he wants to go in there and make the type of noise where he's going to demand a trade or hold out, because he signed the contract. But look, you're going to make this worth it for me, because I'm basically everything you got on defense. I think Jalen Ramsey's overrated, and I think guys like Aaron Donald make him who he is. Now,
the interior defensive lineman, the defensive rush always helps out the secondary.
I'm not actually taking away. Jalen Ramsey is a really good player, but he's not the best in the league. Aaron Donald is the best in the league. He deserves the bag, and I think Aaron Donald in this situation, I know he's only getting a $14 million this season, but I'm sure his cap hit might be a little bit higher, because usually what happens in the back end of contracts, sometimes they defer money to the back end, which is what I think happens here. I think Aaron Donald single-handedly has the ability to, A, get the most money in the league for a defensive player, while B, also fixing the Rams cap situation by deferring all the money to the back end.
Trying to find out here. I'm looking up his free agency isn't until 2025. His cap number next year, as you just stated, no, that was this year, 14 mil. 2022, he's making 26.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Swear to God.
So everything I just said, take it back.
Take it back.
No,
his total contract value is $141 million, which, by the way, holy shit. But the cap number in 2021,
I can't buy that,
was 14.3
on Bleacher Report.
I'm just saying what I'm reading right now. There's no guarantee. Oh, well, here's where the issue is. Going forward in 2022, 23, 24, zero guaranteed dollars. Zero. So that's a big deal, because obviously these guys that got to make their guaranteed money. He wants a big bag of cash, and he wants it up front as a bonus right now, signing bonus type shit, because you need a guarantee. And right now I'm looking right at his contract. There's no guarantee going forward. So that's honestly, that's bullshit, because it's Aaron Donald. So get that situated. But But yeah, so
So I'm seeing all different numbers. Scoop is saying his cap hit's 23, but he's only making $9 million. So
there's a bonus involved. There's
a lot of
there's a lot of language in Donald's deal.
I'll do a deep dive into Aaron Donald's contract.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of language that people, the common man probably won't understand of where they can finagle their shit. Like the Rams were in the red last year. Somehow they got all these players, right? So they're doing their due diligence.
Yeah, they're gonna do the same thing that they did.
But they shouldn't do the best player on the team wrong. So they better fix this. Or Aaron Donald will say, I'm done. I'm good. I'm all set. You know, I made my money. I won my championship. I'm good, set for life, right? You people forget. It all depends on how you live your life. You know what I mean? Like if Aaron Donald is out there spending dollars, just making it rain places, then yes, he's probably in a bad situation. But these guys are investors. These guys know what they're doing.
Bro, but
so they're set for life no matter what.
I understand that, but you know, when you're rich, you have rich person bills and rich person expenses. And I'm not saying that Aaron Donald isn't, but like what happens in life, and no matter what, is money goes away. So you have a short window of opportunity to make the type of money that he's making. And I understand that there's possible investment opportunities and things like that for a guy that's making that much money over his career. But that stops. Like the 14 million a year, the 25 million a year, like that's not fake. I don't care how rich you are. You know, look what billionaire CEOs are doing across the country, selling stocks and making billion more and taking it from everybody's greedy. I'm not saying Aaron Donald's greedy, but you have to capitalize on what you're worth when you're worth
After that performance, this is the time to do it. You might as well say, hey, by the way, you'd be nothing without me. Ken Paulman coming back in. The cap breaks up the signing bonus. No. So he might have gotten a bunch up front and the cap hits spread. Yeah, that's pretty sure that's probably the way it works. But now he's probably like, all right, I'm on now the back end of my career. Now it's time to solidify
like I said,
what I'm doing.
I think these two sides meet and they kind of figure out a way to get Aaron Donald paid as well as fixing the Rams salary cap situation all at the same time, or at least helping.
Now, yesterday we went into the offensive players that will be free agents hitting the market going forward when the new league year starts in the middle of March. Now we're going to tackle, literally, the defensive players on the market, starting with defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen, which, by the way, it does, in fact, hurt your pocketbook. When you're not an edge rusher, this definitely hurts. I think it hurts. We have Sue as the poster boy here because he's one of the guys that are coming up on this list that are free agents to be. But there's other guys that could make an impact with a lesser tag, all right? Sue last year made $9 million, okay? Do I think he gets that again? Probably. I don't think he gets more. He's getting older. So I think like anywhere from 7, 8, 9, that range, you can get yourself Ndamukong Suh for a year because that's what he typically does.
Yeah, I don't think he's 1 year deal, a long-term deal.
No, he never does. It's one of those things. It's weird. Calais Campbell made $8 million last year. He played for the Ravens off a trade. That was a trade, right? From Jacksonville.
From Jacksonville.
So now he's a free agent. You know, they didn't extend him. The Ravens did not extend this guy. So now he can go wherever he wants. Will the Ravens bring him back? They're probably in a situation where they can, but his tag, I mean, his price last year was $8 million as well. So I don't know. I feel like if you had a choice between Calais Campbell and Ndamukong Suh, Gooch, who would you take right now?
Calais Campbell.
Me too. All right.
Only because I absolutely despise Ndamukong Suh, and I think Calais Campbell brings a lot to the table. He blocks a kick a game, it seems like.
There are a couple guys at the back end right now that, you know, again, the Brandon Williams, again, another Raven, so they're going to lose some interior. Malik Collins, former Cowboy, former Raider, now former Texan, he's a free agent as well. So there's definitely interior defensive linemen, but you're going to find out that price tag, 8, what happened?
You see the Cowboys news?
No. Oh, no.
Something about some scandal-ish stuff going on in Dallas right now. I don't mean to cut you off, but
What's
I was like, voyeurism and a payoff. It's like spying and like videotaping,
watching people have sex,
or like say like just doing things like a Tom That Peeps would do.
Good.
As a senior executive paid like $2.4 million, but we'll get to that because I'm not even going to open this article right now. We'll talk
don't do that. But I will say that officially announced is the Vikings hired O'Connell.
Yes,
so that's official.
That's what made me open my phone. I got the notification. I was like, oh shit.
Why is was always in the fucking news, bro?
So we'll find out.
We had this conversation yesterday. Mike
East
McCarthy was on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, literally calling out Jerry Jones. Like, yeah, I don't know where this narrative comes from, where they've got Sean Payton here and Dan Quinn here. He's like, I've never been around something like this. Basically saying, this is a clown show. And I said it last night on the roundtable of Blogging the Boys. This could be a thing, right? Mike McCarthy quits. Just saying, I'm laying that out there right now on February 16th. He's at the point right now where all the shit that's happening right now with Dan Quinn, who is now next in line to be the coach, and of course the circus that Jerry, he could be like, you know what? I'm done. I made enough money. I'm out.
Enough with this. I made enough money crap. Mike McCarthy did not make enough money, and that's the reason why you just sit there and eat whatever shit you have to eat, because eventually they're going to fire him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Go collect your paycheck, dude. Like, go deal with it all. I don't give a shit. In 2 years, you'll be done with it all regardless, and you'll have an extra 20 million. What does he make a year? It's got to be
seriously. What? I mean, now you got me like bugging out over what the hell's going on here.
At least it's not the Raiders.
No, what the fuck does that mean?
I mean, like, give it a week.
Yeah,
give it a week.
It will
For
be,
real.
but
Talking about.
for now.
I'm not seeing anything here, but whatever. I'm not. Do you who reported that, by the way?
Yes, Todd McShay. No, I don't know.
No,
apparently it's an ESPN.
Cowboys
thing.
paid $2.4 million over voyeurism allegations against now former senior executive.
At least they
NFL
fired the
News.
guy.
former. Oh, so who gives a shit? Oh my god, if this is Rich Dim Pimple or whatever the hell his name is, Darren Pimple. He's been there since
That's
like
that guy,
1992.
That poor guy.
I don't know. That could be him. You don't remember that Des Bryant clip? Like this guy Rich, who's a senior player of operation, whatever the fuck his role was, he was in the locker room, and all of a sudden you just hear Des Bryant, "This place sucks. Fix this shit, Rich." Like that. That's his one claim to fame. That's the only time you'll ever hear him. Yes, it is. Wow, bang. And you wonder why he retired. That's so funny. He stepped down 2 weeks ago. He stepped down. I said, "Oh wow, I can't believe he's out." And it's not the first time he's been accused of this. Okay, well then he's a savage. What is exactly what? So that's a crime.
It would. I mean, yeah, Dave. Like if there's somebody that's changing in the team hotel and like you fucking drill a hole and watch her.
Oh, like
Like,
Aaron
you
Andrews
fucking
type
creep.
deal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
well, if he's a piece of shit, then he's a piece of
Voyeurism
shit.
is like, that's
Oh
very
wow. All right.
taboo.
Well then, Rich.
It's like putting cameras
Hey,
in
Rich,
toilets. and
fix
shit.
this shit. I'm like, seriously, you're
that
screwed.
word comes from France, I think. So it's definitely
Francais.
a little risque.
Dude's been raw dogging the cheerleaders since the late 80s.
Oh,
Stop.
I
Stop.
hope he
God
uses
damn.
lawnmower 4.0.
Hey, Rich, if you, yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. Go back to the free agents, please, for the love of God. So we're at interior defensive line when we're done with that. Move on to the higher priced edge rushers, right? So this is where you make your money. This is where people are getting their bags. Last year, Von Miller made $19 million. Does he get that again?
Yeah.
Von Miller, same
Yes.
guy, now two-time Super
Absolutely,
Bowl
he gets it
champion.
again.
Von Miller is the
No
poster boy
question
here.
about it.
But this list is shit ton long of amount of
Yeah, the
edge
defensive side of the
rushers.
ball is there's a
Yeah.
lot of good talent out
Ready
there.
for this? Chandler Jones, Jason Pierre-Paul with now 1.5 hands, right? So he's there. Jadeveon Clowney, which whatever, miss me with Clowney.
Move
'cause
him
it's just
down the
like,
list.
yeah, move him down the list. Emmanuel Ogba. Let's see what else. Who else? Tank McKinley's out there. Melvin Ingram from the Chiefs.
And bro, if you look at the potential,
Jihad Ward
if you
from the
look at
Jaguars.
potential
Sorry,
cap
Stu.
casualties around the league, there's a lot of edge rushers in it.
Ryan Kerrigan, I like him because he doesn't
Leading
show
the pack,
microphones.
like in a couple weeks, this entire list is going to change. We'll just say that because the franchise tags haven't come out yet, and then the cap casualties also have not come out yet. So you realize that most of these guys are either going to be a franchise tag, and then some of the guys that aren't free agents, like Darius Smith, you could pretty much guarantee that he's going to get cut by Green Bay. So the list will grow in some sense and then shrink in others. But yeah, this is probably the most loaded outside of maybe.
So
you could say
here's
linebacker.
here's my GM question for you. Okay, let's just say, and we all know this as an NFL, and I bring this up because Hawaii Mike just brought up the name. If you are starting a franchise right now, would you rather have a Von Miller coming off the edge, a Chandler Jones coming off the edge for that price tag, or you got a chance to draft Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan? Where would you start?
It really does depend. If my team isn't good yet, then definitely the rookie.
I said starting a team right now. You're
If,
starting
like,
a team
starting a team
right now.
I'm not.
You
I'm-
either have the experience, but the price tag of the other two, or Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean,
coming from
what's
Michigan.
the price tag coming for the number 1 overall pick? Probably about 14-15 mil,
Sure,
right? I don't know.
Sure.
I'm making up a
Yeah,
number
I
because
don't
I have
remember.
no idea.
Remember, there's a structure from
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so
after
maybe
the
somebody could drop that
Sam
in there. But
Bradford
I would
news.
imagine that if you're getting Von Miller at $20 million a year, I'm taking him. Fuck that. Definitely taking him over. I don't like Chandler
taking-
Jones because
you're
I think
taking
his
Von
brother's
Miller?
a scumbag.
Is that
I'll
what you
take
said?
Von Miller, a proven NFL commodity, to start my team. It depends though. Like I said, am I going to do? I'm relying on the fact that like I'm doing well other places. Like I have a good team because I'm the one drafting it, right?
Right.
Because I know I'm the best GM in football too. But yeah, I'm not taking a rookie over a guy that's proven potential Hall of Famer.
Also reported by ESPN, Dak is overrated and Pollard is better running back than Zeke. Reported by ESPN, not me. Shut up, Scoop. Go do something, bro. Jesus Christ. By the way, Scoop, text me after the show. I'm going to ask you to come on in Monday. In any event, I'm choosing the proven commodity too, because you just don't know if these guys are going to play out. But Hutchinson has been touted as to be the next big thing. But anyway, so moving on to linebackers, right? We put Anthony Barr as the poster boy here because that's the most recognizable guy, I would say. But the list is big, and your boy's one of them, which, again, alarming that Devondre Campbell is a free agent. I'm going to say Devondre Campbell 3 more times, Devondre Campbell, so people start realizing who this guy is because he's really good at football, and he's going to leave Green Bay.
Well, I mean, I think that's up in the air. Devondre Campbell stays in Green Bay if Devontae Adams leaves. I could almost guarantee that.
Yeah, then you have the money.
Because then we have the money. But if Devontae Adams sticks around, then you're going to see some things happen on the defensive side of the ball, starting with Devondre Campbell. Look, he's probably going to make about $10 million a year going forward. He made $2 million this year with Green Bay, and he made All-Pro, so he's definitely getting paid. I think he's probably the one guy you could look at where Anthony Barr, you might have to pay more than a Devondre Campbell because he's proven it over more of a course of time. But you know, all pro is all pro. So we'll see. I think that you might see a Devondre Campbell get a very similar contract to what Blake Martinez got from the Giants. How's that working out, though?
Blake Martinez led the team in tackles. So
yeah, because they don't make tackles
than
anybody else.
I mean, the
so
Giants stink, but they still have Blake
He's
Martinez.
a tackle machine, but he doesn't make a defense better, and he can't cover.
Leighton Vander Esch on the list, of course. Goodbye, Leighton. So
I feel like, honestly, do you know who I think is going to be the replacement for Campbell?
Leighton Vander Esch?
Perfect. That's
You
not to say that I
nonsense?
want it. I'm saying the answer was perfect. Like, you're right. That's who I was thinking.
Okay. His price. Oh, damn. Our internet's like fast. It's like too fast. How about that? You finally pay the big bucks. And now the internet is just like, I'm like trying to go on this thing and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so linebackers, there are plenty. Okay. We're not just talking about the guys we just talked about. There's others out there. Donta Hightower from the Patriots. Let's see, Keanu Neal from the Cowboys. That's 2 linebackers out the door. KJ Wright from the Raiders. Let's see, anybody else that I'm thinking? Gruger Hill from the Texans. Yeah, he was a clown show, huh? He's the one who told the world that Dak was overrated, and then Dak beat him the next week and kind of
the Texans are fucking so hard to beat.
No. He was an Eagle at the time.
Oh.
So anyway. All right, moving on to the corners. These are big because obviously corners are one of the positions that you have to have 2 at the very least. And one of the guys coming off his trade is Stephon Gilmore. So now he's a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. Joe Hayden. I've always liked Joe Hayden, even in Cleveland. And then he goes to Pittsburgh. Now he's walking out. He can go get a price tag. He made $11 million last year. And Gilmore made 13. So like, I'm wondering with the top cornerback, where that market's going to set right now, because look, the top cornerbacks are your Jalen Ramseys of the world. Your boy Jair Alexander is one of the good guys, and Trayvon Diggs will be one day, as far as paid, but there are some corners. Bryce Callahan from the Broncos, Chris Harris Jr. from the Chargers. That's another one that you got to keep your eye on, but the Chargers have a lot of money, so I'm not really writing them off to not bring back all their guys. Kevin King, Packer, he had a great year.
He's gone.
Jadarius Ward from the Chiefs, he's out. KJ Wright from the Raiders. Raiders are losing a couple pieces here and there. Bryce Callahan, I said, had it right. Jason Verrett from the 49ers, unsung. He'll get paid. He'll get some money. Xavier Rhodes, obviously, he's a little older. But yeah. So
yeah, I'm not really big on this year's free agent crop of corners outside of the top 2 or 3.
Gilmore gets a nice.
I like Chris Harris a lot. I think he's one of the best slot corners in the NFL. And Gilmore is going to get paid because he's been doing it for a decent amount of time, and he's the best one in the class. So I don't know that he's going to reset the market, because I don't think he's better than a lot of the guys that just recently signed deals. I just can't see that happening. But at the end of the day, he's the most coveted corner in the league right now in terms of free agency. So yeah, you could see it. And yeah, I was just about to say what Kyle's saying right now.
What's that?
Zion might, and it's not will, might require a second surgery.
Oh my God.
He's embellishing a little bit.
Oh my
But usually
God.
where there's smoke, there's fire, especially with this guy.
Dude,
I don't know that we're going to see.
He's turning into Greg Oden.
Needs his stomach
He's
straight.
turning into Greg Oden.
I would compare him more to like an Anthony Bennett.
Okay. All right. But yeah. All right. Fine. But understood.
Because they look exactly alike.
They do look alike. All right. Safeties. Another big class here because it's topped by the honey badger himself, Tyrann Mathieu. He is $14 million last year. Devin McCourty, one of the Rutgers alum. The McCourty brothers. Yes, Rutgers alum. Marcus Williams. Here's one. Marcus May. That's a big one. The Jets got a pony up there, boy, because I'm telling you, he's a good player. So you really need to bring him back. Quandre Diggs, Anthony Harris from the Eagles.
Yeah, Ken, that is a good point.
Terrell Edmonds. What was
reading the screen? They heard our complaint. They heard your complaints, and now all the news is breaking at 11:30 because we just got like 4 tidbits throughout this show.
How you like that?
But stand by. The big story will come in 5 minutes.
Yeah, as soon as we're out of here, that's when somebody announces their retirement and whatever. You know what? This is something that me and Gooch have talked about, and I'm gonna just put it out there right now. In the event that something does happen and we're in the mindset and the framework and we're all here and we're rocking and rolling here, we will do breaking news stuff. We will go live when something big happens. We will come back on the channel. We will chat with all you guys. We'll do a separate show for something. I'll talk to you after this because I have a really good idea how to do this. But we will come back. If we're done by 12 and something happens at 2 and we're both here and we're rocking and rolling, doing whatever we're doing here at Chop Sports, we'll come back. We'll break it down. So it's not necessarily, yes, it'll be breaking news. Yes, we'll talk about it, but then we'll digest it and then talk about it the following day as well. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm with it too. But so that's the safeties. That's the free agents. I mean, those are the guys. They're, again, Gooch alluded to it before. Some cap casualties are going to happen, right? They're going to find out that,
and all the franchise tags
and the franchise tags will be slapped. So this list is going to change dramatically within the next month. They have a month to get this stuff done. And I think most of the teams already have an idea of where they want to go as far as who they're slapping a franchise tag on. They got the window. It actually opens next week. So already there's going to be movement within the NFL as far as players sticking to where they're at right now, or they're going to hit the market. We'll see. Whew, I think I said, sometimes I feel like I do all these podcasts in like one breath. I'm done and I exhale and I'm just like, whew, okay.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds like that.
It does?
Not like in a bad way. I don't want you to get all
from me.
Yeah, it's just but yeah, I would
remember when Sean said yesterday, you guys should sit down once a week and tell each other how much you suck. And point out the shitty things. So if this is your open forum,
take a fucking breath, Dave. All right.
So if this is the open forum, okay, I will learn to breathe. So that's
you said it. I didn't say it. I co-signed it.
Okay, fine. Co-signed it. What do we got here? Kareem Jackson, strong safety free agent. Very good as well, Mike. Good call. Scoop is a diehard Knicks fan until times get tough and he starts menstruating. I bleed blue and orange. All right, I will call fraud. I'm going to call fraud on you, Kyle. And here's why. Mr. I'm taking a selfie with a 76ers hat on, going to the game last week because you're courtside, making friends with Joel Embiid. Don't miss me with your I bleed this shit, because anybody who wears colors of any other team is not a diehard of their team. I will die on that hill. Sorry, Kyle. You lose this argument. You are being outed right now. By the way, great sunglasses. Okay, great. Gucci, I know you got the money. Not talking about this Gooch over here. Talking about the real Gooch.
Hey, Ken Pullman knew that I'm nasally today.
You're nasally today?
I guess it sounds like shit today. Thanks, Ken. Now I feel like shit.
We're just going to keep going. Okay.
You haven't taken a breath and I sound nasally.
Okay.
He's right, bro. I can't breathe.
I'm
really?
Too quiet.
Are you sick?
I'm never not sick, and I'm always healthy.
You got those COVID tests at the office,
no,
right?
It's not COVID, bro.
Yes.
COVID's done, by the way. I don't know if anybody notices.
I defeated the pandemic
right here at 12 o'clock.
Already.
The pandemic's over. So if anybody wants to argue me about that, you can shoot me a text on the side.
If Kyle also wants to talk Knicks, do we have tickets yet?
Oh,
next
yeah.
week?
Yeah.
Don't the Knicks and the Nets play tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What's the spread of that?
Battle
15?
for New York.
Battle. There's no battle, first of all. New York is run by the Knicks.
Well,
I don't care how bad they are.
Look,
in New York, the Brooklyn Nets will always be second fiddle, just like the Mets will always be second fiddle to the Yankees.
The Knicks
That's a thing.
The Knicks don't run anything. They don't even run their organization properly.
Yeah.
They don't even have the proper rotation on the court. The Knicks aren't running shit, but neither are the Nets for that matter.
The Knicks run my heart.
Yeah, they ruined my heart. So anyway, Knicks minus
constantly.
Wait, Knicks are favored?
Yeah, no Kyrie, no Durant, no Ben Simmons.
House money on the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ride with the Knicks tonight. That is your betting advice from Kyle Kerms. You can visit kylekerms.com. Go over to his YouTube channel. I think the kid went with 6 videos yesterday. The kid was cranking out content. So go over to Kyle Crims. You can find that link within Chop Sports. But if you're also watching this for the first time ever, you've never seen us, you're like, oh, wow, these guys are really cool. One of them's attractive. And then, you can hit the like button. I'm talking about you, Gooch, by the way. So, baby.
I sound nasally though.
Oh yeah, you sound like shit, but you're a stud. So anyway, let's wrap this up. Nets plus 4.5. Wow. Okay. So now we got a little bit of a a little bit of a stewing going on here. But yes, Kyle, if we're going to this next game, when is that supposed to be? I almost called you Ash.
It's next. Wow.
Not a bad thing.
It's next Friday and Sunday are the 2 games.
Next Friday and Sunday
was the one I think that we were all planning on going together.
Friday was the one we were planning on. Okay. And now what's the status with going to the Knicks game? You got to show a vaccination card? What do you got to do?
Yeah, you just got to show proof of vaccination.
Oh, shit, I got to find that thing.
Yeah, just like I had to show proof of vaccination for the Rutgers wrestling match too. It was like a 13-year-old boy.
I brought my proof
Yeah,
of
you're good,
vaccination
you're
to
good.
the Devils
Fucking-
game, and they literally just like saw that I was holding a piece of paper and were like, "Cool, you're good, go in."
Because
Yeah, I've
But
been
I
saying
can't
that
bring my
since
purse.
the
You don't
I've been
need the
saying that out of the gate.
vaccination.
They're not hiring people to like inspect. It's
Dun,
usually
dun, dun.
just like a hostess at a restaurant.
Have you seen,
Give a
like,
shit.
obviously you guys have got the vaccination, so you've seen the card. It's just like little numbers and a date written on there. Like, you
It's
can
it's
write
like something
whatever
that
you want.
Antonio Brown could easily.
oh yes,
forge.
Antonio Brown has already mastered the fake
Bro,
card.
you could get Vax cards on like Amazon. All right, stop.
It's so bad. bro.
Felonious.
It's over. It's all. When does that thing end for New York? It's got to be soon, right? They ended all that mandate
So they're
shit.
I
like
have no
lifting all the
idea.
mask mandates and stuff right now.
Ooh.
I
Um,
lifted my own mandate a couple days
and
ago.
Businesses are no longer requiring vaccinations, so I assume
So
that sporting
all
events
those
is
people they
coming
fired.
soon. Yeah.
What a shame. New York, you're a embarrassment. You are officially the armpit of the
But
United
anyway,
States. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, New
Not
York.
going on a tangent
The
here,
Knicks
but I'm
don't.
not going back
and
to
the
the
Knicks
city.
don't. And the Knicks, fortunately for
And
your
the Knicks
sake, don't run you. Right.
Right. The Knicks suck too, so that sucks. All right.
So Kyle, over under on my age, bro. The over under is 39.5. Am I over or under 39.5?
I thought he already knew this. If he's been listening
I
all
don't
day,
think
we
he
talked
was
about your
listening
party.
before. I think he showed up late.
All right. Well, now people are going to start guessing ages now. Is that where we're at? Because
Well, no,
he's-
everybody that watched knows. But Kyle,
oh
yes.
yeah. By the way,
This is the long way to I'm right. you're
before
wrong,
before
Kyle.
we get out of here, Mike did bring up something. We always talk about Rutgers wrestling, and we're talking about, I got my pause shirt on right now.
Pause.
But Rutgers basketball, dude, have you seen the teams that they're running through?
Yeah,
Like they might dance.
and they'll lose to like
Calm down.
Marist.
Calm down. If they finish strong, they can dance.
They
This year.
can. They can.
This will be great. Great
Yeah, and while
content.
we're talking about Rutgers, we'll talk about Rutgers wrestling. They got a big matchup with Princeton, state rival, big rivalry. For
Jason
them.
Garrett is the alumni of Princeton. Anybody gives a shit about that. But yeah, RU basketball. So we'll
The
see.
slow clap.
We'll see. So long as they aren't playing Illinois. No, it's a shitty teams. What are you talking about, Ken? They went on a tear. They just beat like the Big Ten, like in a row. All of them. Michigan.
Yeah, but they're a bubble team. It's not like they're in anything yet. They need to win some more games for sure.
I wonder how they can do in the conference tournament, which, by
Yeah.
the way, is more exciting than the actual NCAA tournament. I love the
Big time.
conference
It's rivalry games
Yeah,
and it's
yeah, yeah.
everything
Love
is not. It's to get to the tournament. That's like what most of these teams are playing for anyway. Because the idea that any of these teams could win the tournament, there's probably only a collective handful. If we're being serious, with maybe a couple mid-majors sprinkled in, but there's not really much of a chance for these lower level teams in the lower conferences to actually make noise in the tournament and win a conference and win the national championship.
Yeah.
So the best basketball is played in the conference tournaments by far.
So shitty teams beat good ones. Oh, all right. I missed your point. My fault. My fault, Ken. Oh, and by the way, Scoop is 8-1 in his last 9 bets.
He should do
should
basketball
prob-
picks for the Sauce Network.
How about that? Well, then you can quit
Well,
Geico.
as soon as he starts,
Because from what I heard through a little birdie named AJ, like sauce pays good. So there you go. Quit your job. Perfect. Done. Betting and handicapping for the rest of your life. Look at that. We're making matches here, folks. In Chop Sports, we do that. That's how we roll. We're one big happy.
if all you have to do is go
dysfunctional
8-1
family.
to get hired, let's talk, Kyle. Because I'll go fucking 8-1 this week right now. Let's do it.
What sport can I bet? You know what? I'm going to get with Anthony, and I'm going to
I'm
have
gonna-
your
you-
NHL
no,
guy
you know what I'm
fired,
gonna do?
and I'm going to start picking NHL games
Bro,
because Anthony's going to
I'm
help
gonna
me.
tail Kyle, and I'm gonna do well and be like, bro, I did the exact same as you. How could you not You know, it's just, he doesn't know that I'm not.
My advice
handicapped.
would be to not bet NHL games at all.
Oh, okay. We're not betting NHL games. Okay, so
Hockey's
maybe
way-
I'll do UFC picks and I'll fire that girl who does those picks. Huh?
Hey now. Hey now. It has been requested by the sauce though that I start doing UFC videos, so I need to step up my game.
I mean, we have the studio. If you need to shoot a video, we have the green screen and everything that Kyle has.
Yeah.
If you're here, if you're at home, then you're good. Like,
I was thinking about that. Less
There you go.
pressure if I don't do it while he's staring at me.
yeah,
It's
and
very
while he's,
intimidating.
while he's doing this, he's looking right at his phone. Love Kyle. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Go on over to chopsportsmedia.com for the full podcast lineup. A new goddamn Jets just released today. So if you want some Jets nuggets, John Sapanero, Michael Boyle are over there, or Tom O'Boyle. Sorry, I'm thinking of Mike Boyle. He's a Jets fan too. And of course, a new podcast from Jimmy Palumbo, new podcast to Chop Heads Combat Sports Podcast. They're all there on the website. They're also on LinkedIn. I know Anthony is still balling on LinkedIn. He's also balling with the new Micah Parsons t-shirt. So if you're a Cowboys fan, go check out the t-shirt, buy that, support Chop Sports, all that nonsense. For Sturch and Gooch, and of course, Dina, the producer, and I almost called him AJ, A4 over here, Anthony, the intern. We'll see you guys tomorrow on a Thursday.
Oh, this show
Wednesday
ended just in time because I got like less than 1% on this laptop.
All right. Good call. See you guys tomorrow.